Okay, hello everybody. So I have a belief right now. I'm going to put it out on the table for you guys. I have a belief. I'm changing that belief, but I have a belief right now that is holding me back, that is stopping me from moving forward, that is causing some self-sabotaging behavior in my life. Anyone familiar with that? So I'm going to share with you, I'm going to share what that belief is with you guys. And I'm also going to share with you the process that I'm going through to get rid of that belief, to shift that thought pattern, to shift that belief about myself so that I can actually do the thing that I want to do. So the belief, and you can, whatever belief you're having, you can apply this process to you, okay? So the belief that I am having right now is, I can't do that. I've never done it before. Alice, you can't do that. You can't do that thing in your vision. You've never done it before. You can't create that in your life. You've never created that before. I literally woke up this morning with the thought, Alice, you can't do that. You have no idea how to do that. You've never done it before. I'm just putting it on the table, guys. I do this work. I coach other women and I claim that I am good at this because I have needed this work in my life. So don't be fooled in thinking that other coaches, mentors, spiritual teachers, whatever, don't have these beliefs that they need to overwork. The reason why they teach it is because they have needed it so much. And I'm at a point in my life right now where I'm leaning, I'm expanding into something I have never done before. And so I'm leaning into these practices that I know work time and time again. So I'm going to share that with you now. So last week I had a client, she had a similar belief come up. She has a vision for her life and she said, Alice, I just can't do it. And I said, why? And she said, because I've never done it before. So when I heard it come into my mind, I was like, Alice, you have got this. You supported that client and she has smashed it. You are now going to apply that to your life. So the first thing that I make her do, or any client do, especially when beliefs are coming really, really holding you back, like heavy. Yeah, you can feel it when a belief is heavy. You can feel the energy of it around you. Is I'll actually do something really simple. And I'll make her, or him, mostly her, but I'll make her write those beliefs down. The reason why writing these beliefs down is important is because it's really going to allow you to see on paper very clearly what you have been saying to yourself. So guess what I did this morning? I wrote down a list of everything that I'm believing right now. You can't do this. You can't do this, Alice, because you've never done this before. You can't do this because you don't know how to create that. You can't do this because if you could, wouldn't you have done it by now? So I wrote all of these beliefs down. Then what I have to do is I have to prove to my mind, because my mind loves me and she wants to protect me and she wants the best for me and she wants the best for you. The reason why we have these beliefs is to protect ourselves. So we have to remember, it's okay. She's just wanting the best for me. So what we have to do is we actually have to give our mind, the logical part of our brain that's thinking, you can't do that. It's almost like, this is literally what it's like for the brain. It's like saying, the brain knows that, or thinks that the body can't swim. The body hasn't learned to swim. And it's like you going, yeah, I'm going to jump into all this water. I'm going to jump into a lake or a sea or a river. Your mind is thinking, don't do that. You're going to drown. What are you thinking? You're crazy. You're going to drown. And so we have to, our job as the observer, as the one who has the awareness, is we have to provide the mind with new evidence. And that is what I am doing right now with this belief, which is saying in my mind, Alice, you can't do that. You've never done it before. So I am providing, so once you've written down the beliefs that you have, I can't do this, I've never done it before. I've got here, this is a big one that clients always say, I'll say to a client, why can't you do that? It's just a huge jump. It's a huge risk. It's a huge jump. And so what we have to do then is we have to provide this evidence. The question then becomes, when have you done something that you've never done before? When have you successfully done something that you've never done before? Play this game with me now, guys. When have you done something that you have never done before? Yeah? Me, for example, I'll start to think, well, I passed my driving test and I'd never done that before. I've, in the past, the first time I sold out my women's retreats that I run, I sold out a retreat for the first time. I'd never done that before. I did public speaking for the first time. I'd never done that before. Trust me, I was terrified for that. I've built a coaching business. I've never done that before. I've built an online membership. I've never done that before. I've successfully done that. I've got an incredible relationship. Well, I had done that before, but not this successful. I've got a successful relationship. I've never done that before. I've moved to the country. I've never done that before. I've traveled with my business. I've never done that before. Sorry, I've got a message coming through, so it's distracting me. I've never done that before. And so I start to build on it, and I'm like, well, how did it go when you sold at that retreat? Never done it before. It went really fucking good. I did a really good job. And guess what? I did it over and over again. How did it go when you took your driver's test? Well, do you know what, guys? I failed my first driver's test. But the second time, yeah, I got a lot from the first time. It didn't go as I wanted, but the second time I passed with flying colours, and now I drive everywhere. Okay, what else have you done? I moved to the country. I'd never done that before. I thought, am I going to like it? Am I going to be lonely? Is it going to be fun here? I fucking love it. And so I've built all this evidence of like, Alice, you've never built a membership before. Well, how did that go? It went pretty goddamn well. Yeah. So I get to tell myself, Alice, you've got a pretty good track record of doing things that you have never done before. I get to big that up even more. Alice, you are absolutely, that is your hotspot. You are killing it when you do things that you've never done it before. You pass with flying colours when you do things that you've never done before. And so my belief now needs to become, I can do things that I've never done before. And I get to, every time a fear comes in, yeah, but you've never gone that big before. Yeah, but you've never created that before. I get to bring in, yeah, well, do you know what? When I first wanted to launch my business, that was like unheard of. That was like, what? That was the biggest thing in the world. It's like the easiest thing for me now to run my business. When I first ran retreats, it was like unheard. I didn't know anyone who was running retreats when I started running retreats. I didn't know one single person. I'd just seen it in magazines. You passed it with flying colours. So I get to tell myself, they might seem easy to me now, but back then, they were like I remember shaking when I ran my first retreat. I remember my mouth, I remember hiding in the toilet thinking, I want to go home. I don't want to do this. And so I get to tell myself, Alice, you thrive. You thrive at doing things you've never done before. You absolutely shine when you do things you've never done before. And I get to create that story. I get to create that evidence. I get to create that story. And it all starts, guys, with, first of all, don't push away the belief. Yeah, for me this morning, I woke up and I was like, Alice, you can't do this. And the first thing that I did was that I didn't get out this journal. This is like my client notes journal. I got out my, it's not here. I've got a beautiful brown journal. I got out my journal and I wrote down these beliefs. I listed them all down and I started to say, okay, let's have some evidence. Let's have some evidence of why this might be true, but also let's have some evidence of why this might be false. And then when you start to write that, now every time that thought comes in, Alice, you can't do this. I'm like, girl, I can do this. I excel at doing things I've never done before. I thrive at doing things I've never done. I shine so brightly at doing things I've never done before. And that gets to be my story because I sit down and do the work. And I do this with my clients and they have the exact same experience. And guys, you're going to watch me very soon do something that I've never done before because it's going to be out there. Everyone's going to see me do this thing that I've never done before. And I'm happy to say that because I've shifted I believe that I can do things that I've never done before. That is my belief now. And when I go to the next level, this will never stop. When I go to the next level and the next level and the next level, I'll be thinking, Alice, you can't do that. You've never done that before. And I will come back to this moment and I'll say, oh, do you remember when that thing that you thought that was so big, that you even made that video on Facebook and Instagram? You told everyone about that belief you were having that you couldn't do it. Do you remember that? Yeah, well, that's easy for you now. Like, you can do that off the back of your hand now. That's so easy. So yeah, you can do this thing in 12 months' time, in 5 years' time, because our vision is always expanding. What we believe is possible for ourselves is always expanding if we choose that to be our reality. So anyone who's resonating with this video, anyone who's watching this thinking, wow, I keep telling myself I can't do it. Sit down and have a really honest conversation with yourself and ask yourself, is that true? Can you remember, do you have evidence from your past of a time where you did do something before that you'd never done before? Do you have evidence where actually you did something that you thought you couldn't do? Like maybe you thought that you couldn't, I don't know, like maybe you thought that you couldn't pass your yoga training, or maybe you thought that you couldn't drive a car, or maybe you thought that you couldn't try out dating online, and then you've actually got a pretty good track record of it, okay? So find that positive evidence, find that positive spin, because your life right now, I love this, and this is why I really believe in this work, your life right now, everything in your life right now, is a reflection of what you believe is possible for yourself. So when I look around my life right now and I live in this beautiful home in the countryside and I travel, not so much now, but I travel, or I have my business, or I have, I'm in a beautiful relationship, my puppy Sasha, who you guys just know I love, that is all possible because I believed it was. One of my big beliefs was actually, I believe I can live in a house where I don't look at other houses. I have this thing about I've always wanted to look out on both sides of the house and just see fields and hills and water. Guess what? That is my reality right now. There was a time where I didn't believe this house existed for me. So your life is a reflection of your beliefs. And right now, this thing that I am working towards in my life, it's not in my reality. Because guess what? I haven't yet believed it's possible for me. I am in the process of changing that. And watch, it will become possible for me because I believe it is possible for me. Okay, so your beliefs are everything. Your life really is a reflection of your beliefs. So take a look at that. Challenge yourself. Don't just listen to this and let it marinate and let it seep in and reflect on it. But also, if you want to go that step further, sit down and write down your beliefs. Write them down and challenge yourself. Do the work. I can't tell you how good it is doing the work. And guys, if you want to learn more about working together, you can get in touch for one-to-one coaching. But of course, I have my incredible online membership called the Sisterhood Spiritual Membership, which is a monthly membership, which is so good. So hopefully see you in there. I'll share the link below. I hope this video resonates with you. I'm doing the work. Come and join me in doing the work. It never ends, but it only gets better. Okay, sisters, from my